There is clearly a Goldilocks size for Agile teams. Not too big, not too small. But how many people is that? It's fewer than you may think. Hi, I'm Mike Cohn, and I'm the author of 3 best-selling books on Agile and Scrum. I help teams succeed with Agile, and teams can succeed more easily when they're the right size. For most projects, that will be 4 or 5 people. But there are times when you may want a larger team. How you decide between a small team and a larger but less productive team depends largely on whether you need the project done as quickly as possible. Think about the movie Apollo 13, which tells the true story of the mission control ground crew who are trying to save the lives of 3 astronauts. The astronauts face a severe risk of running out of oxygen. On a project like that, finding a solution quickly is more important than doing so with the least number of person hours. And so you'd want a large team even if each person is a little less productive. Much more often, we're on projects on which we can sacrifice a bit of time to value in favor of the cost savings of a more efficient team. Let's look at some research as well as some common sense about why I say a team of 4 to 5 is best. Let's start with the research, beginning with a study undertaken by Harvard professor Richard Hackman and colleague Neil Vidmar. They assigned tasks to teams of various sizes and then asked everyone 2 questions. Was the team too small to achieve the best result, and was the team too large to achieve the best result? Charting the answers they received to those 2 questions revealed the optimal team size. The first line shows how people responded to the question about the team being too large. Almost no one thought a team of 2 people was too large. But then the line rises dramatically, especially above 5 team members. Conversely, regarding the line showing responses to the question about the team being too small, many participants felt a team of 2 was too small, but very few thought a team of 7 was too small. Where these 2 lines intersect is what the researchers considered the optimal team size, 4.6 people. The company QSM, founded by Larry Putnam in 1978, has built one of the largest databases of metrics from software projects of all sizes and methodologies. Kate Armel of QSM studied over 1,000 projects in their database. To test the idea of 4.6 being a good team size, Armel divided the projects into those with 4 or fewer team members and those with 5 or more. The larger teams did finish in slightly shorter time frames, but depending on the size of the project, she found large teams were 3 or 4 times more expensive with 2 to 3 times more defects. Okay, so there's some research showing that teams of 4 to 5 are the most productive. Does this team size fit with common sense? I think it does. Teams of 4 to 5 are far smaller than the Scrum Guide advice of fewer than 10, which could be 12 if the Scrum Master and Product Owner are counted separately. I'm not aware of any studies that show 10 to 12 being a good team size. However, the Scrum Guide doesn't recommend teams that large. It simply defines 10 as a typical upper limit. That's bigger than I'd recommend, but it's okay. A common approach to thinking about team size is to consider the number of communication paths within teams of different sizes. On a 5-person team, there are 10 communication paths, as each person can and should communicate with each other person. That means a 6-person team will have 15 communication paths, and a 7-person team will have 21. The formula for this is the product of n times n minus 1 divided by 2, where n is the number of people on the team. Clearly, as team size grows, the overhead of all this communication can really impair productivity. Larger teams also suffer from what has become known as social loafing, which was first observed in research in 1913. Social loafing refers to individuals putting in less effort when their work will be judged as part of a group. If you were ever assigned a group project back in school, you probably experienced social loafing. You or your teammates put less effort into the group project than you would have into a solo project. I think about long ago helping a friend move into his new house. There was a group of us helping, and so I put in less effort than if I'd been helping alone. Because the little bit longer it took to move everything wasn't directly observable as my own fault, I took it a bit easy. Ivan Steiner formalized social loafing, communication overhead, and any number of other factors into a formula. He said that actual productivity is equal to a team's potential productivity minus losses due to faulty processes. Losses due to faulty processes are anything that prevent a team from performing at its theoretical best. In addition to communication overhead and social loafing, low morale or a lack of motivation could reduce actual productivity. So could burnout, lack of clarity, or many other things. Steiner's formula says a team will never perform at its theoretical maximum productivity. Does the idea of teams of 4 to 5 members pass the sniff test? Does it make sense with your experience? It does with mine. Small teams sure seem faster to me, and we've seen some reasons just now to believe that's true. We also took a look at some research indicating the same. What do you think? From your experience, what team sizes seem the most productive? Please share your thoughts in the comments below. And if this video has been useful, click the like button. And if you're new to this channel, click subscribe so you don't miss out on future tips to help you succeed with Agile. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.